Hey guys, Captain Mounts Mason here, and I'm going to read last intel for me tonight. Date, February 24th, 1962, to Richard Kane. From Ryan Jackson, Chief Analyst. Subject, SAD candidate Hudson Jason. Place of birth, Washington, D.C., USA. Now, nationality, American/Caucasian. Date of birth, March 26, 1932. Age 30. Height 6 feet. Build athletic. Weight 210 pounds. Eyes blue. Hair brown. Summary profile. As a double major in psychology and political science, Jason Hudson was recruited to the agency out of Georgetown University on the recommendation of his academic advisor and former OSS field operative, Marshall Bryant. Recipient of the Intelligence Star in 1950. Hudson is an excellent tactician and mission coordinator, bringing the full brunt of his genius level into the IQ into the field. As such, he has earned great trust within the halls of Langley and will undoubtedly go far considering his ability to command a room and crisis management skills. As one associate commented, Jason has a way with words. When he speaks, you can't help but listen. Though much of his work keeps him away from the front lines, Hudson is a very capable soldier. In his own right, U.S. Army 101st Airborne Division, Honorable Discharge, 1955. Particularly when a mission calls for an element of subtlety and finance. Full service record and psychological analysis enclosed. So, Jason Hudson was in the Korean War. It doesn't mention that here, but it's later found out in a piece of something. And he was a U.S. Army soldier. Right, continued. 3. Wait, what? Oh, skipped something. Date, September 1st, 1965. To William Colby, Chief, Far East Division, DDP. From Ryan Jackson, Chief Analyst. Subject, proposal for additional agency presence within combat base at MGRS 488QXD850418, Khe Sanh, South Vietnam. An expansion of Air America efforts into Laos. 1. Enclosed is a proposal of expansion of agency efforts in the nation of Laos via the use of the Khe Sanh combat base and airstrip. 2. U.S. Special Forces recently constructed combat base at the MGRS 48. Oh wait, that's CXD. My bad. CXD-H50480418 airstrip has presented the agency with an opportunity to create a forward presence for future covert operations in nearby Laos. Despite concerns regarding the defensive inadequacies of this location, see point 2. Overall assessment is that the location offers a number of benefits for a planned SAD/POO mission to support. Among leadership, as well as expansion of Air America efforts into Laos. 3. Continued. 3. U2 reconnaissance photographs and ground level surveys tab A have shown that the Khe Sanh combat base and its adjacent airstrip to be potentially vulnerable to enemy artillery. This information was relayed to the DoD in June 1962, but construction commenced regardless. Original report can be found in tab B. 4. MACV-SOG recon teams have already established a base of operations from this base in order to execute their established programs of harassment, diversion, capture of prisoners, physical destruction, intelligence gathering, and generation of propaganda on the orders of General William Westmoreland, Tab C. 5. With the pre-existing interagency relations established between the SAD and MACV-SOG, additional deployment of SAD/POO personnel will be accepted as an expansion of MACV-SOG efforts. In parallel, agency interests to support the military financial requirements of Hmong Leader Major General Vang Pao through the transport of Blackout will continue as planned. Date: January 23rd, 1968. William Colby, Chief Far East Division, DDP. From Ryan Jackson, Chief Analyst. Subject: compilation of analysis of the Vietnam People's Army's capabilities as they relate to the recent outbreak of fighting at KSCB for review. 1. At the request of the Defense Secretary, McNamara enclosed is a full completion of APLAA analysis, HUMANT, and recent U2 surveillance of PAVN troop movements from 12th September to the 22nd of December 1967. For your review, for the purpose of this overview, the Vietnam People's Army will forthwith be referred to you as the North Vietnamese Army, NVA, in order to distinguish between the Northern Communists and their Southern counterparts. 2. Historical Analysis Tab A. It begins with the Armed Propaganda Unit, APU, for National Liberation, a force of less than 1,000 fighters led by General Vu Nguyen Giap, which drove French colonists and Japanese occupying forces from Vietnam. By 1950, the APU officially became what we now term the NVA, also known as the People's Army of Vietnam, or PAVN. Over the next 10 years, the size of the standing force grew to over 150,000 troops, spread over 13 divisions. Of note, there are the 330 and 338 divisions, which consist of transplanted Southern communists organized after the Geneva Accord of 1954. However, many of these fighters were conscripted into the collective farming workforce to meet productivity demands. 3. Organizational Analysis Tab B shows a triple-armed approach composed of the main force standing combat-ready troops and support units, local forces, and the civil defense/guerrilla force. These are subdivided into 5 distinct branches, including ground forces, border defense forces, Marines, air defense, and the People's Navy. Since 1960, analysis shows that the main supplier of NVA military hardware is the Soviet Union. Full list of provided equipment types can be found attached in Tab C. Continued. Tactical Analysis Tab D consists of offensive and defensive corps, units specializing in lightning fast attacks on U.S. bases and defensive installations, and finally hit-and-run operations known as standoff attacks, with the utilization of rockets, recoilless rifles, and mortars. Maneuverability and populist control are the key in the NVA's ability to maintain their grip on the local populace and remain elusive from Allied forces enclosures. Date: September 5th, 1960. To Richard M. Nixon, Vice President of U.S., Allen Dulles, CIA, Admiral Arleigh Burke, is a destroyer named after him, CNO, Livingston Merchant State, Gordon Gray, and Colonel J.C. King. From Ryan Jackson, Chief Analyst. Subject, Op 4 candidate number 15. Words, Frank. Place of birth, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Nationality, American/Caucasian. Date of birth, March 20th, 1930. Age 30. Height 6 feet. Build medium. Weight 190 pounds. Eyes brown, hair brown. Summary profile. The candidate is the best described as an old warhorse, a man increasingly out of step with the rapidly changing world around him. Though still fit for active duty, he knows that his days in the field are numbered, and he has stated on numerous occasions that he intends to go out with the biggest blackout bang the world has ever seen. A fiercely patriotic and decorated veteran of the Korean War, the candidate is a consummate leader, possessed with the first-rate ability to assess and respond to any situation with quick and decisive action. In other words, absolutely nothing phases him. So, see, he was a Korean War veteran. And that's pretty much it for this. But yeah, thanks for giving me some more dates for my little thing here. I'm gonna end it here and do some of my free time stuff now to see if I can find any stuff on my own. And I also need this chance to update all my timelines. So without any words to describe it, I'm going to say good night to you guys, and see you guys tomorrow, where I'll do 3 more multiplayer maps, possibly 2 more intel pieces, which leaves me with the defector and numbers, and then work our way through, and I will see you guys next time.